Okay, so like we've been emphasizing, the time for your journeys is now because the holiday season is very much upon us, and the likelihood of we traveling during this period is very, very high. So we'd like to just give you one or two tips on what you need to do as you travel or perhaps as you embark on those long distance journeys. Some of us will be heading to some parts of the southwest, let's say Ibadan, Akure, Ekiti, and some going further south towards Edo, talking about Benin, some to Warri, or some of us will be traveling to Akwa Ibom and even Port Harcourt, all right? For some others, the likelihood of you visiting the north is pretty high. Some will be going to Kano by road, some to as far as Maiduguri as well. So that could require some 20 hours or 24 hours driving. But what do we need to do at this time to stay safe as we drive on the roads? That's going to be the focus right now. And let's join Denis Oloriegbe, the immediate past Managing Director, Edo State Traffic Control and Management Agency. And he's joining us on the phone line this morning. Denis, nice to have you. Good morning.
Mr. Victor, good morning. So nice hearing your voice all the way from Nigeria.
Wonderful. So where's your location right now?
Well, my location is in Brussels in Belgium, just coming to have a rest after a very hard work in Nigeria, just coming to calm down here.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what's the weather looking like where you are in Belgium?
Well, the weather is minus 13.2 this morning.
Wow.
That is very cold.
It's real winter. Winter is very much high over there.
Very, very high. Snow yesterday in the city of Brussels. So everything is very, very cold here.
Right. All right, then. It's nice having you on the program. Let's jump in right away because I know there's a lot that we have to cover this morning. So when embarking on long distance travel, Denis, what are the first things that we should do as drivers?
Yes, I know definitely journey management and individual responsibility, or what I call driver's responsibility, is planning our journey so that we don't involve in risk. You know, the ultimate goal of journey management is to ensure that drivers arrive safely at their destination. So, and in planning your journey, you first of all do what they call a risk evaluation. You know, what we call a pre-trip mental inventory, or what we call trip assessment. That is, you futurize. You anticipate how the journey is going to look like. Then you ask yourself a question. The first question, like what I always say in every journey, is that the necessity of that journey. For every journey, one should ask if the journey is actually necessary. Victor, let me give you something this morning as a takeaway. Always remember the safest journey is the one not taken.
Why do you say that?
The safest journey is a journey you did not take.
Okay.
Because in your analysis, if that journey is not necessary, then don't take. But it's very important, like what you said, traveling indication is very high, especially this December. You know why traveling indication is very high in Nigeria? Because everybody 95% of journey is made on the land.
Okay.
One, the flights are not readily available. They are not everywhere. And the numbers of people traveling on land is too high. So the journey we are going to make in this Christmas is very important because people are traveling to go and see their loved one. People make it as a culture to travel once in a year. There are people who build houses in their village. This is the only time they went there to do. So the journey is always very necessary.
All right. So you have to do the pre-trip inventory, you said, by asking yourself if that journey
inventory.
Yes. If that journey is necessary. But after that, if you've been able to contemplate that, yes, it is pretty necessary, what's the next step?
Yes, you look at the conditions, the journey conditions. There are some conditions that surround traveling. And if those conditions are not complete, then you might not take a risk to travel. And the conditions are, the first condition is the vehicle. You know, we are using a vehicle for the journey. So the condition of the vehicle, you know, the roadworthiness of that vehicle. Is that vehicle worthy to make such journey? You will realize that somebody have not traveled for more than 1 year and is now going to be traveling from Lagos to Kaduna. And this vehicle have never left Lagos for 1 year. So you must ascertain the roadworthiness of that vehicle. The condition of the vehicle is very important.
Okay.
Then the condition of the driver who is going to drive the vehicle. Does he have the capacity? Is the driver sound enough? Are you sure this driver can make a journey of that distance? Oh, you can make a journey from Oshodi to Obalende. You can make a journey from Ajah to Bega. But when you are putting a vehicle that is moving from Lagos down to Onitsha to Anambra State to Calabar, then it's a different ball game. And it's something you are not doing regularly. So you must ascertain the condition of the driver. Is the driver good? Is he well? Is he okay? Then if he's okay, fine.
Okay.
Then
so
the weather.
Yeah, so just before you talk about the weather, Dennis, let me just puncture you a bit there, because a lot of times there are no real cross checks in this part of the world. So sometimes you might see a vehicle that is carrying, let's say, Begja to Oshodi, or let's say Ikeja to CMS. And all of a sudden you get to the park and they start calling Ijebode, they start calling Ibadan. What do you think people should do at that point? Because you know very well, these are vehicles that apply intracity rather. They are within the city, and all of a sudden, because they want to make quick gains, they switch gears to now go interstate. Is there anything that can be done to check that?
Yes. The fact is that the transport sector is not as organized in Nigeria like in other places. Okay, somebody who is loading Oshodi to Obalende eventually now wants to take passenger going to Ijebu. What is the responsibility of the unions? You have unions everywhere. It is the union that regulates the movement of such vehicle in third world countries. You cannot, like somebody, you will see a lot of people hanging out on the road, waiting for the vehicles that are not really meant to carry passenger. That is why we said people must go to the park. And when you get to the park, you must register your name so that in case of emergency, there will be trace on how to reach your own people.
So the unions should be able to check that, to say, no, this vehicle is not going to Djibouti.
Instead of just carrying passenger from anywhere, you change your mind. You are running interstate, all of a sudden you want to route intrastate. That is, you are running outside the city. No, you don't do that. So the union must check both sides. Okay, somebody took passengers from Lagos and get to Ibadan and get to the garage and start. You must ask question, did you register with us? Were you supposed to be here now? Because those vehicles that are doing interstate are not actually made for intrastate. You are going to Abuja. It is a whole lot of journey, especially on the roads that are not too motorable.
Right.
So the union must take responsibility.
Okay. So after that, you must check for what now? You talk about the weather?
The weather condition, like we are in a Harmattan. In the morning, you are going to see a lot of Harmattan here. So driving on the morning, you have to be very careful. So the weather condition is very important. Then the road condition. As a driver, don't just go into a road you don't know about. If you want to move in a road you don't know about, ask questions. Ask people who have used the road before now. What is the condition of the road? Then the traffic condition. You're going to be having high traffic now going outside Lagos. Because the numbers of people moving going outside Lagos is more than the numbers that will be coming to spend the holidays. So the traffic is going to be very, very high. So drivers need to be careful. Then the last one I've added to it, we used to have 5 before, if you understand.
Right.
But now I've added security condition.
Okay.
I think maybe that is a topic for another day, because it is very important now. Our security, if anybody tells you there is no insecurity, then that person is lying. There's a lot of security challenges on the road, especially when you are running on a long distance. So that is why those are the journey conditions you must definitely take into consideration before making any journey.
All right. So let's now go in between the trip. Now the trip has started and the driver is the one taking responsibility for conveying the passengers to this long distance journey. How should it be approached? Let's even look at that.
Okay, this is very important. There is something I call top tips or simple tests to safety in journey management. I think that is just the area I'm just going to give to the driver whoever driver that is listening now should just make sure he keep to some of this rule. You know, the first thing I want to warn drivers is that schedule your journey carefully to avoid night driving.
Okay.
Most of the crucial and very worst accidents we have now are night. Are people traveling on the night? So driver must be able to schedule their journey in such a way that they don't travel in the night. What do I mean? You are traveling to Kaduna. It is possible you will not be able to make the journey from Lagos to Kaduna one day. So what do? I break the journey. When I get to Abuja, I'm going to stay and sleep. The next morning I keep going, not stretching it all through because anything can happen. Then know what to do in case of emergency. What do I mean? Brake failure, tire blowout, accident, tire deflations, and even what they call hood latch failure, like boot opening while you are on duty. They are all emergency.
Okay.
You must know what to do in the face of all this emergency for you to have a very good journey.
All right.
Then you talk of fatigue. You know, if you are fatigued, what do you do as a driver? You park your vehicle, you rest. You see, the problem drivers have when it comes to fatigue is that not being able to tell your passenger you are fatigued, but you are putting the risk of everybody. You are putting everybody at a very serious risk. So you must be able, no matter the numbers of people you take, when you are fatigued as a driver, park your vehicle and tell the people you are feeling. No, nobody wants to die, Victor. Nobody wants to die. So
you must be willing to tell them at every point in time that you are tired, and once you are tired like that, you should be able to take a break. Hello, Dennis.
Yes. Hello? I'm hearing you.
Yes, I said you must be willing to tell them that you are tired and you want to take just a few minutes break.
Look, I've been in a vehicle where the driver said he's tired. Then we had a double opinion. Some people say, no, continue. Why are you tired? Then some of us said, no, the driver should be given a break of at least 10 minutes to rest. And the driver was happy. And all of us waited. And the driver went and took water, had some rest, another thing. Then we continued the journey, and it was a very smooth journey.
All right. Okay, then, so we're going to look at those emergencies that you mentioned earlier on, and I need you to break it down for us one after the other. Brake failures, hood lash out, and all of that.
We are going to summarize it.
Yes, but before then...
Let me just look at the tips on safety in a journey.
All right, just a second. Let's see if we can get back to the updates that are coming in. Masha Aguda and the Surulere corridor, we can tell you the update there says it's very good movement from sensors connecting areas like Agboyi. We have it good and fast moving as well at the junction there due to alternation. Adilabu down to Masha is also looking good. The return journey, not bad at all. And then we can tell you traffic from Eric Moore inwards Abebe village down to areas like Igomu. Talking about the bridge there is looking good. We have it steady as well from Eric Moore. Talking about the junction up to Bode Thomas. And from there, in and out of Babs and Imasham, linking up with sensors down to Doyin, and the return journey looking pretty good as well. Good traffic flow is being experienced from Otumaba to Lawansin. And then Lawansin is also good, especially at the turning point. We have some vehicles doing their thing at that point, but no major worries. Ogunlano Drive, the junction there, we have the traffic signal light alternating, so it's not so bad. Ogulano Junction down to Randall Junction, also looking good. Fast-moving traffic is being experienced on the return journey. And then we can tell you all the corridors within the Surulere end is still looking relatively good for now. Dennis, let's get back to this. So let's begin to break this down for our listeners now. If they encounter emergencies on the road while driving, what should they do?
Emergencies are very common with driving, and it is part of driving. But the important thing is drivers must know how to manage emergency. Okay, like brake failure. Brake failure will not alert you, but if you are smart, before you had a brake failure, you would have been having some feelings coming out from the brake side. But if you eventually have a brake failure, don't be afraid. It is very simple now. But what we always want drivers now is that a driver must make sure the handbrake is important, is working. The problem is so many handbrakes are not working in Nigeria. Your handbrake is to subsidize your brake. If you have a brake failure, you fall back to your handbrake.
Okay.
You know, though that is a lecture for another day. But today, I want to tell you that you must have a handbrake. If you are driving a manual and you experience a brake failure, what do? You shift your gear from lower gear to higher gear. What is lower gear? You are moved from your higher gear to lower gear. Gear 5 is higher gear to gear 4, while gear 4 is higher gear to gear 3. Okay. So you shift it concurrently. As you are shifting it, the vehicle is going to slow down. Then you go for your handbrake and you pull it gradually. Don't pull it hard. Then the vehicle is going to stop for you. Then if you have a hood latch is that your bonnet can flip open, especially with the kind of Tokubo vehicles we have, accidental vehicle that have been so prohibited. And when you are going the food light, immediately you experience it. Don't bother to be looking because your eyes is going to be dazed as if you are blind. What you do is that pull your head out of the window of the vehicle immediately to get a view of the road. Then you park and you repair. Then another failure we always have.
Okay, no, just hold on, Dennis. So for the hood latch, if it happens at top speed, is it going to be easy to just get to the point where you can brake and park?
Yeah, Victor, no emergency situation is easy. No one is easy. All of them are always very dangerous. But a driver must anticipate. A driver must make his mind that if I'm driving and my boot is incidentally open, what do I do? So if you have it at the back of your mind, that is the first solution. So it's not easy. Like hood latch, like bonnet is always very dangerous. Because when it happens, you in your mental brain, you will think somebody have either block your view. But if you have it at the back of your mind, fine, what do? You move immediately out, take your head out. And that is going to help you, especially if you are winding down. That's why we advise if you are on an express that is free, put off your AC and wind down and receive fresh air, which is better for you. So you pull your head out immediately to get view. Because when you get view of what is on the front, then you will not hit the vehicle at your rear. And you will be able to find your balance and park.
Okay, so at that point, your view mirror, your mirrors, wouldn't they be able to help you?
No, your mirror can't help you because your mirrors are seeing your back. You don't need the back now, you need the front. Okay. When your boot flip open, it's going to block your entire view. If you watch the way your bonnet is open, you will discover that it's almost covering the size of your windshield. Right. Yeah. So you don't need your mirrors. Immediately you experience it, your body is out of the vehicle to get a glimpse of where you are going.
Okay, all right. So that's for the hood latch. Let's talk about the one which is very, very common, and that is tire blowout or perhaps the tire burst, as the case may be.
Yeah.
How can we handle that?
Tire blowout and tire deflation.
Right.
Tire deflation is very common. That is, you are going your tire just. Either your tire goes down or you met your tire. A driver must be able to know how to change his tire. It's very unfortunate that so many drivers, I think Lagos have done so well with Lagos Drivers Institute, where people are being taught. That's why we are still encouraging every state now. Driver Institute must be a phenomenon in all the states, even from the federal level. Because you see a driver that cannot even change his tire. Cannot change an ordinary tire that is deflated. Then with tire blowout is also very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous because when it happens, you need a lot of brain work to get the vehicle down. Because if you make error, because when you have a tire blowout, you will definitely know because from the sound, you will know. And that is not the best time to put your leg on your brakes. You don't need the brake. When you experience a tire blowout, hold firmly to your steering. Hold firmly to your steering. Remove your leg completely out of the throttle, completely from the brake, and control the vehicle gradually. Then, as you are moving, you look at the speed level of the vehicle because the vehicle will gradually be slowing down. Then you can now be when your speed is lowered up to at least 10 to 15. then you can now apply the brake gradually for the vehicle to stop. Because if you go for the brakes immediately, the vehicle is going to somersault, especially if it's a front tire blowout. Yes.
All right, then. Some messages are coming in for you, Dennis. Lagos Traffic Radio,
Yes.
96.1 FM. You can also bring in your calls as well, 09153877127. All right, so we're talking journey management and driver's responsibility during this festive season. And Denis Oloriegbe is taking us to the classroom. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Can you explain the concept of journey management and why it is critical for safe travels? Damola Aziz. He sent that one in.
Yes, that is exactly what we are doing. We are breaking down the concept of traffic management, and we definitely we will run through all of them,
right?
Because we are going to end on the things needed for a good traffic management.
All right, quickly, let's take some more. This one says many downfall drivers drink and drive even while on motion, and it would be more rampant during this festive period. So what can be done about it? This is Shukbo is sending that one in. Okay, so drinking and driving, that shouldn't be encouraged at all.
You see, you are going to have a lot of drunk driving this period. You know why? People use alcohol to enhance their driving, and because of the passengers that will be on both sides, drivers they want to be alert, so they will be drinking. They want to, where they occasionally go once in a day, they will go at least 2 or 3 times. So there's going to be a lot of drunk driving this period. But what we tell the driver, like the government too, they must sanitize our park. People must not, the parks should not be allowed places where different drinks are being sold for drivers. And the Federal Road Safety too must check drivers, must go to the park to check drivers for alcoholic. They must go with their equipment to check drivers for alcoholic. And any driver who is found wanting should be suspended from driving this period.
Okay, then.
Because drunk driving is one thing that causes serious accident too.
All right, this one says, good morning, Victor. How important is route planning and what tools can drivers use? Oloriegbe from Owode.
Okay, route planning is just a journey management tool, journey management planning. Some of the rules are what we are saying now. Some of the conditions are you assess the weather condition, the vehicle condition, and taking everything into consideration, avoid night driving. Those are the things, those are part of the things we are discussing.
All right.
And just keep listening. Before we finish, you will get everything into you.
This one says, compliments. What should drivers do to stay alert and focused on the road? David is sending that one in.
Yes. Before driving, make sure you rest enough. Make sure you are not fatigued. You must have at least 8 hours of sleep if you are going to drive. Don't drive 24 hours and you are embarking. Like I know some of the trucks, they drive 24 hours. They move with cement, with high goods, and they will be on the road for 3 days without resting. Then when the accident happens, only God can save you. So you must be at alert. You must be okay. You must be well, and your vehicle condition must be okay too.
All right. So let's begin to look at the things that are needed in a vehicle, because time is not really our friend. So as we are traveling, be it commercial travel or perhaps our own individual journeys, what are the things that we should have in our vehicles for safety purposes?
Okay. I think this is very important too. The normal things you must have are the spare tire and your jack. That is very, very important. But there's what I call emergency safety kits. Under emergency safety kit, we have jump start. If your vehicle is not starting and you will need help, you will need a jump start. It is not possible for the driver who want to help you having that same jump start. So you need a jump start. You need a tow rope. You can improvise a tow rope. What do I mean? If your vehicle breaks down and somebody want to help you, it is not his responsibility to bring out his own tow rope. Okay. So have a tow rope as an emergency kit. Then torchlight, or what we call flashlight. Then handkerchief or a clean cloth.
Okay.
Then you must have a mobile phone and a phone charger with you. It's very important. Then have a first aid box in case there's an accident, even not from you, so that you can actually help out other people. Then you need water. Then you need a good. This is on a security notes, Victor.
Right.
We advise people to dress properly now when you are traveling. Put on a canvas or you put on a well-buckled sandals. You know why? In case of anything, you cannot rule out the fact. Because when there is case of kidnapping, you will need to walk. Or when there is a case that you can run, you don't need your shoe to disappoint you. So for security, also, delete all monetary transactions in your phone. Okay. Or what we even advise people now is to travel with Palasa phone. But I think security awareness in traveling is a topic for another day, Victor.
Definitely.
But I think it's very important we let people know. When you are traveling, all these Android phones that will be sending multiple alerts, another thing is not always good, especially when you are captured. They use that as an information to make sure you are bringing money. The more the alert is coming, the more they feel, oh, you are a rich person.
Right.
So that's why sometimes we talk to drivers too. I tell drivers, say, help your passenger. You are traveling, tell them to submit your phone. You keep it in a safe place. Because when you are caught individually, you are now going to be responsible to yourself. And they will use your phone to start tracking your people.
All right. So the last question I'm going to ask you now to round off, Dennis, and I wanted to just put that in 30 seconds or perhaps 45 seconds. How can you approach it when you are driving on some very, very unpredictable terrains, like driving on a hill or a mountainous region? How do you approach it?
Yes. Yeah, it is just the same thing. Like I tell people that as a driver, you must identify high-risk location. Those mountainous regions, valleys, school area, forest, deep forest, they are all high-risk area. One, they depend on where you are. There are areas, if you get to thick forest area, it is time for you to increase your speed if the road is very good. Okay. But if you are in a mountainous area, you must make sure you acquaint yourself with that road. If not, you will be caught by unaware. So you slow down and being able to navigate. Then you have some tiny bridge.
Okay.
Those bridges that can only take one vehicle. So if you are approaching that is why drivers must know road sign. Drivers must know when it's approaching a tiny bridge that cannot occupy two vehicles. Okay. So you slow down to use some of those high-risk areas.
All right, then we have to leave it at that for now, Dennis, because of time. Thank you so much for connecting with us. We do appreciate you in a great deal.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Merry Christmas, sir.
All right. I wish you the best of the season as well. Thank you. All right. He is Denis Oloriegbe, the immediate past Managing Director of the Edo State Traffic Control and Management Agency. We have to go. The program has been produced by Mike James, and in the studio this morning, Tony and Jessica. I also want to appreciate our social media team, and Remy Aluko and others. We do appreciate you. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid day. Bye.